Yes, people, hope you're well. If you just come over from Coppish and you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. If you are already a subscriber, please do smash that like button. First and foremost, happy new year to you all. Big up to yourselves. Shout out to DMF as well. Me and him did a video which got released just before the new year as well. So shout out to him. Go and follow him on Twitter, doing some fantastic stuff with Give Me Sport. Not only is he a MMA fan and correspondent, but he also covers football as well. So go and give him the support that he deserves. Really cool guy as well. Obviously, shout out to Luke and Jamie as always, who've helped me build the channel. Go and subscribe to them. Links are in the description as well. Right, people. This is your show. You guys get to come over here and ask me anything you want, and spend about half an hour just chopping it up with you guys. The first one of the new year, so hopefully we can make this a fun one, and let's get this going, people. Shout out to Martin, the legend that is Martin. Cal, it's 2026. Have you watched The Last Dance yet? Martin, I haven't. Martin, allow me. I'm actually going to start this month watching it, so I will message you when I start watching it. But sorry, Martin, to let you down. Very bad way for me to start the new year. A9 says, Cal, why are you cursed? I didn't think I was A9, but you know, if you think I am, then I can't change your mind. What, in fact, what will it take for me to change your mind on this, A9? Because Verts, Isak, Ekatike got all these players in the summer, and now you guys are saying the curse has evolved. I can't win, guys. Big up yourself, Sean. Big up yourself, Danny. Big up yourself, Ravi. Hope you and the family are well as well, Ravi. Shout out to Mahin, says advice on starting YouTube and the best benefits of starting. The best benefits of starting is you get to do a lot of trial and error in the early stages, because, to put it frank, not loads of people are watching your content. So you can refine what you do, refine how you work, start to build your schedule, and you won't have the pressure of too many people questioning what you're doing. And the people who start off watching your content will be the ones who probably give you the best advice and criticism. Advice on starting YouTube: just start. Don't try and perfect things before you start it, because you're meant to perfect it as the journey goes on. Also, be open to criticism. Listen to your subscribers. Find formulas that work and try to advance those formulas, and try and like just enjoy it. And the one thing I'd always say, but it kind of depends on your niche and what you try to do, just be you. Because if you're fake, people will see right through it. You still might get great numbers and great viewership and get good money from it, but ultimately I don't think it's long lasting and people will see through it. Big up Sean says, did you see Michael Morales? Yes, I've seen that. Apparently it's a parody. It's something they do in Ecuador. Apparently it's like it's their version of like Halloween dress up or something like that. I mean, who's arguing with him first and foremost? I know I ain't. You let that guy live his life. I don't want no smoke with him. But yeah, that's what I think it is. Shout out to Brad, says, when is Dracus du Plessis going to fight again? I think he picked up an injury, which is why I don't think he's been booked in a fight. But yeah, I do want to see him back again. I want to see him in a fight where he's not fighting for the belt, and just how hungry he still is. Du Plessis is actually someone who I never really liked, and he's someone I actually will always watch their fights because he's so exciting and so unorthodox. So yeah, I'm hoping to see him back in the cage soon. Who he fights against remains to be seen, but I definitely want to see him back sooner rather than later. Shout out to OYBTV, says, what's your goals for 2026? On a professional level, to really build this channel, I wanted to get this channel to 10k before the end of the year. Wasn't quite successful at doing that. I'm going to set myself a target of 15k subscribers by the end of 2026, and I want to interview at least 3 UFC fighters by the end of 2026. On Coppish, I want us to get to 50k subscribers, and I want us to interview at least 3 ex-Liverpool players by the end of 2026 as well. Big up yourself, Josh says, big up Cal, it's dark times for us. The happy place is suspended until the January the 24th. Nah, this is still the happy place, Josh. This is still the happy place. It's still the happy place. Mantis asks, Brad, a question. Are you a DDP fan? I've become a DDP fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Hassan says, Cal, you guys been doing FPL checks on stream. I'm top of the league. Do you know what? We haven't, you know, Hassan. and appreciate you bringing that up. We will do that more often now. We've been slack there, if I'm going to be honest. There's no excuses for that, so we'll make sure we do that. Oh, so you're saying because the players we've signed look crap, it's my fault. A9, everything can't be my fault. A9. It's a harsh world we live in if everything's my fault. Josh says, why doesn't anyone call it the Coppish blessing? Since you guys made Coppish, we've had our most success in nearly 3 decades. Do you know what, Josh? I'm gonna run with that. I appreciate that because technically, Coppish started in June 2019. We went on to win the league. We had just won the Champions League, went on to win the league. We've won 1 FA Cup, 2 League Cups, and the league again. Do you know what, Josh? I'm going to run with that. Coppish blessings. I like that. Martin says, Cal, can you help me do a favor? Can you get Drift for saying Neymar is more technically better and naturally talented? Who do you say is more? Oh, he said a better footballer than Messi. Howler take, not going to lie. Yeah, I disagree with that. Neymar's extremely talented, but Messi's a different level. Big up to Football with Ends in the building. Big up your brother. Big up to your family as well, bro. Savantho says, thoughts on Sebastian Hoeneß as a manager? I think he's good, just not one of the managers I'd sign. Manti says he's fighting Bradley. Is he fighting Alan next? Is that actually agreed? Or I know Alan wants to fight, but I didn't hear anything agreed. Sean says it's the second Zesty video I've seen of him blew a kiss to a man in a car wearing some big earrings. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know what's going on, Michael Morales. Look, let him live his life, man. I ain't got no horse in that race. Martin says, did you see people saying Brian Ortega is on his villain arc? Not gonna lie, wouldn't want that smoke with Pereira. I'll be real. Yeah, Pereira and Tracy Cortez. I didn't know that was a thing. I did not know that was a thing at all. Big up to them both, though. Yeah, big up to Pereira, man. Big up. Winning in and out of the octagon. I rate it. A9 says, Cal, did you see the Jake Paul curse? What happens to fighters? Yeah, I think this got debunked, though. I think a lot of that got debunked. But yeah, some of that is a bit dark. I'm not going to lie. Brad says we must sack Slot now. Yeah, Slot should have been sacked in November, but yeah, definitely should be happening now. Ash says, question, is this the worst start to a year ever? Pereira clapping Cortez, Harry Styles bagged Zoe Kravitz. I don't know, Ash. I'm happily married, bro, so you're gonna have to answer that question, bro. Guess it's not been a good start of the year for you. Sorry, comment say Brendan Allen. I knew who you meant, bro. Hassan says, nah, allow Cal, man. He got Isak and Verts. Can't be a curse if they're flawed. This is what I'm saying. This is harsh, man. It's harsh. OYBTV says, which UFC fighters you think would be good at five-a-side football? Okay. Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo apparently could have become a football player before he became an MMA fighter. Lerone Murphy played in academies up until I think he was about 15. Oh, who else is there? I'm going to say Khabib plays football, so I reckon Khabib could kick about a little bit. I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett. I know he's followed football his whole life, big Liverpool fan. I'm trying to think of who else. Five-a-side. Who should I get for goalkeeper? I'll go Tom Aspinall for goalkeeper. We'll see. Martin says, Cal, I got a video idea for Coppish for the Christmas special. Coppish brothers versus brothers. You and your brother versus Drifting his brother, Matt and his brother in football. Yeah, do you know, I'd be down for that. I don't know if they play football, but I'd be down for doing something like that. That'd be fun, actually. That'd be really fun. Yeah, I like that, Martin. I'll put that to the group. I like that idea of doing something with the brothers. I do like that idea a lot. I'll have to speak to Calvin and see if he's on board. Kane says, Cal, bless you and your family. Who is the most underrated player to play for Liverpool, mate? Oh, firstly, bless you and your family as well, Kane. Most underrated player to play for Liverpool. I think there's a few. So I'd say Carragher's one. I think people speak about Carragher like he was a scrub of a centre back because of the person he is and how he's been over the last couple of years. But Carragher is a very, very solid player for Liverpool Football Club, and he's a legend for the club. I think Dietmar Hamann is another one. Danny Murphy was very underrated, in my opinion. We should have kept the player. Who else is there? I think Henderson's underrated. People sleep on Henderson a lot. And then probably Origi. Those are the ones I'd say. Brad says Kopish must do a tour in South Africa. Yeah, we got to get some good money for that, boy. Going to South Africa ain't cheap. Hassan says you guys need to do more draft videos on Kopish. All the draft videos were quality. Gonna do more draft videos on Kopish. Also gonna do more draft videos on hair as well. Got a really fun idea to do a draft show on the Sanderson Show regards to MMA. So I'm gonna speak to Luke and Jamie and see if they'd be up for doing that as well. Josh says Arnold Allen is fighting John Silver. He is really and truly. That should have been in the UK, but it's not. Shout out to Jay says, big up Cal. What was your job before being a content creator? So I was a social media manager and I headed up content for different companies. Been watching since Football Banter Days. Not gonna lie, when you first joined Kopish, I wasn't sure about you. A lot of people weren't, so you're not the only one, Jay. But your favorite member of the team now. Appreciate the kind words, even though I do think I wouldn't be the content creator I am without Matt and Drift, but I do appreciate the kind words. Do you know what? Do you want a bit of fun, guys? I'm going to see if I can go back and find the first video I did on Kopish and read the comments, because it was kind of dark. It actually made me really question how much I was going to get into this and whether I'd actually be a success in this, because people weren't very happy with me coming to Kopish. I'm going to see if I can find the video, because I remember when it first happened, people were not happy in the slightest. I'm gonna have to go back a bit far, but yeah, I remember releasing it and being all excited to release it, and then I went and thought, yeah, let me read the comments, see what people are saying. Dark, really dark. I don't know if it's still there, if it's been archived. Hopefully it's still there. But I just remember watching the video and being like, oh, I might speak to Matt and Drift because I don't want to bring the channel down and then they have to rebuild what they've already built. But you guys did come around to the idea of me being on the channel, and I appreciate it. Almost there. I think we're almost there. Fun fact as well, guys. I used to film when we were in our old house, me and my wife. I used to film in the bathroom because it was the only place in the house where I had a clear back wall where the acoustics weren't too bad. So it was a blessing moving into this house where I actually have a room where I can dedicate to filming. Let me see if I can find this video for you guys. I remember speaking to Drift about that video and being like, bruv, do you still want me to be on, like, do this? And you just like, yeah, don't worry, the people come around to you. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? It'd have been like July time, I think. Is this the video? I think this might be the one. Oh no, the comments aren't even available anymore. I'm gonna try and find it, guys, and share it, because it was dark. It was really dark. Ash says, where's the next generation? Poirier, Holloway, Gaethje, McGregor, Volk, etc. That generation all coming to an end. I worry about the next generation because it doesn't seem like they're not there, or they're not being allowed to develop how they should be. Mantis says, do you honestly know anything about this Club Brugge centre back we're about to sign? I know nothing about him, bro. Nothing about him. Just done a couple of video searches, couple of stats I don't know anything about him. Shout out to Lakers. I don't know if Lakers watches this channel as much as he does on Coppish, but Lakers is really good with scouting and stuff like that. He's always in the Coppish comment section. Lakers is the person that gives me a lot of information on players, and he rates him really highly. Ezekiel said, Cal, what's your thoughts on the AJ accident? And do you think the driver of the vehicle should do time? Firstly, thoughts and prayers go to Lats and Sinner and to AJ, and even to the driver as well, because the driver's going to be shaken up by this and going to have to live with the fact that he was the driver when two people unfortunately lost their life. I don't know. If he was driving reckless, then yeah, he should. If it was just a bit of bad luck, then I don't think so. But I don't know enough about it. I know the diagram that's been sent. I know what actually happened, but I don't know whether the driver's out of control or what. But it's horrible, man. Really, really horrible. No one deserves to go that way, man. Josh says Brian Ortega is a very weird character. I don't know why he adopted Banger. Look, I don't either. I feel like Brian Ortega's got a lot of demons, and he hasn't really exercised some of them. But I do like Brian Ortega, and I hope he sorts everything out, because when he's on, he's one of the best fighters in the world. Beans Beans Pun Tour. Sorry. Carol, was the last time you got to watch a game at Anfield? It's been a while. I'm aiming to get to Anfield. I want to go to the Legends game with the kids. I think that'd be a good first match for the kids to go and watch. So I'm going to try and get to that game. Sean says Valentina Shevchenko is very underrated. Bro, I've never seen people talk about her. It's always Derns, Cortez, and how you feel about Shevchenko. Are you Jamie Phillips in disguise, beauty-wise? Is this Jamie Phillips' burner account? Let me call him. Let me call Jamie Phillips, because I don't know if he's going to be too happy with you talking about Valentina like this as well. Where's Jamie? If this is Jamie's burner account, then it'll make a lot of sense, because I don't hear anyone speak about Valentina like this. Let me see if he answers. I know he's with the family.
Hello.
What's going on, Jay? You're live on the Sanderson Show. I'm doing a little Q&A. Have you got a burner account on YouTube?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You would have lied to me. No, this is a comment. I'm going to read the comment word for word. This is from Sean Burbito, aka Jamie Phillips. Apparently, Valentina Shevchenko is very underrated beauty-wise. Bro, I've seen people talk about her. I've never seen people talk about her. It's always Dern and Cortez. How do you feel about Shevchenko?
Wow. I need this person's address. What? Oh, scumbag, man. Absolute scumbag.
Jay, you got to sort stuff out, bro. People are trying to move in on your missus and all that. What are we doing there, Jay? You're getting soft in your old age, bro. Sort this out. The Jay I know would have IP addresses would have been found already and been dealt with. The Jamie I know.
Oh my god, some people, man.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make sure this weren't your burner account, but all good. Look, someone else is admiring your missus, bro. So just
that's it, man. It's war.
No, hey, not with me. This is his name is Sean Babito. Yes, not me. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, cool. All right, bro. I'm gonna let you get back. Yeah, we'll catch up. All right, bless you, bro. Sean, bro, good luck, man. Jamie don't play when it comes to Valentina. I don't even make. If you watch our shows, I don't even make jokes about Valentina, because Jay knows the area I live in. I don't need that smoke, man. A9 says, did you try to reach out to a UFC fighter for an interview? I've reached out to loads, bro. So if anyone has any contacts or anything like that, do let me know. I'd be greatly appreciative. Martin says, is Jones and Ngannou the fight to make it heavyweight if you're Dana White? The fight for me Garn and Aspinall now is the fight to make because of the drama around it. Outside that, I think you got four people who I really want to see do a little merry-go-round in heavyweight, and that is Jones, Aspinall, Ngannou, and Pereira. And I know Perez cheating a little bit, but he does say he wanted to move up to heavyweight. What happened to Duplessis rematch clause? I don't think there was ever a rematch clause. I don't think UFC do rematch clauses, bro. Big up to yourself, John Conway, for the super chat. Big up, Cal, happy new year. Big up yourself, John Conway. Sean says MVP, jack of all trades. I actually think MVP was really good for speaking out on the podcast the other day. A9 says Khabib's goalkeeper, he would spear every play, probably would. No, would definitely go into a 50-50 tackle with him. Josh says send John Jones in goal 2-3 years. Forget, yeah, that'd be jokes. Ends, can I host it? Of course you can, bro. You'd probably be the perfect person because you'd be professional, but you'd also cause trouble as well. Ash says Sammy Hupia, that's a shout. Genie Wijnaldum is a shout for underrated players. That is a shout. The fact that I didn't even mention him shows you how highly I rate him, but yeah, definitely underrated. Realistically, what current UFC fight would you fight for 100 grand? None. I don't really want to get beaten up for our money, to be honest. Martin says he doesn't need to go Dagestan, can't have everything in life. Finnan's another one, says Savantha. That is very true as well. James Milner says Josh, criminally underrated by non-Liverpool fans. He is. Fully agree with that. There's some look, we've had some quality players. Look, I know a lot of people compared McAllister to Genie Wijnaldum. With all due respect to McAllister, McAllister's good, like really good. He ain't Genie though, man. Genie's another level to McAllister. He really is. I don't think people realize just how good how good Genie Wijnaldum was. Big up Oluwasi in the chat. Clinton says, Cal, I've been supporting your channel and Team Coppish channel. I want to say thank you because you, man, have brought me through some dark times. Can't lie. Let us be friends. Clinton, I'm open, man. DM me. But big up to yourself, man. And I'm glad we could help with whatever you're going through, brother. And you guys who watch our content help us as well. Kicker says, Cal, who's better in your opinion, Vibes or Movado? Vibes can't tell, but I love Movado as well. Football Event says, when is the New Year special? I want to do a reaction video. So I'll say Ends is so messy with this. Hopefully within the next week ends. And I'm sure you'll do a reaction video with Sav and Jerry and G. And I'm sure you'll rip us to pieces. That's why we love you guys, though. Kicker says, and top 3 reggae/dancehall songs. Oh, I'd probably separate reggae and dancehall. Favorite reggae songs: Who the Cat Fit, Bob Marley, Smile Jamaica Chronics, I love that song. And gotta go with a Berris song, but which Berris song? Oh, in fact, I'm gonna go Taurus Riley, Stay With You by Taurus Riley. So those are my 3 dancehall songs. Favorite 3 dancehall songs. Slew Them, Capleton. Wicked Islam and Touch a Button by Vibes. Sam, where would you rate Islam in UFC GOAT categories? Very close. I think he's the first or second best lightweight. The second best lightweight isn't going to be someone that a lot of people agree with, but the first or second best is between him and BJ Penn. I know people will say Habib and this, that, and the other, but Habib retired on top, but also because he retired on top, didn't get to see him go through much more adversity and stuff. So I'd have liked to have seen that. But yeah, in terms of his weight division, 55, then yeah, number 1 or number 2 in that division. In terms of overall GOAT status, I think he's got to do a bit more, but he's definitely on his way. OYB TV says, who's your top 5 Liverpool forwards, Premier era only? Robbie Fowler, Suarez. This is based off footballing ability, not likability. Robbie Fowler, Suarez, Torres, Sturridge, and Michael Owen. Oh no, Firmino. Sorry. Let me do that again. Fowler, Suarez, Torres, Sturridge, and Firmino. But hold on, are you talking about just strikers or forwards as a whole? Because if forwards as a whole, then I got Salah and Mane and couples. OIB, clarify for me whether it's strikers or forwards. Because if it's strikers, and then I'm all right. If it's forwards, then I'm in the mud. Liam says, do you think UFC want to do UK events, or do you think they feel pressure to do them? I think they feel pressure to do them. That's the way it comes across. Kane says, I have to go for Millie, but me and my dad and uncle always say Peter Beardsley, mate. I never got to really watch Peter Beardsley. That's why I can never really speak about him. From what the clips I've seen of him and how people speak about him, yeah, it was that he was just brilliant. Big up Olu says, nah, you're a G, my favorite Liverpool fan. Big up yourself, Olu, man. You're a good Arsenal fan as well. I can't lie. You really are. N says, what was the first bad comment you got? The first comment I remember reading N's was, if this guy is joining, then I'm leaving and never coming back. And I was like, raw. I was like, at least let me say hello. Olu says, however, like Ilya said once, it has to be you. No, I hear it, Olu. I hear it. And I think you're going to win the league, unfortunately. Jay says, me too, bro. You want not to the one who came to Coppish, but keeping it 100. You're the main guy for me now. And I appreciate you, man. So I'll tell you what it is. I know people don't really like changing. Look, Football Banter Show was brilliant. It was like, I was honored when Matt and Drift asked me to join. So I understood that different fans from different clubs are supporting that channel as well. So when we decided to make it just a Liverpool channel, I get the pushback. And obviously at the time I wasn't known by anyone. So I'm coming in, rebranding the channel. I'm not a known person in the space, so I got the reservation. Martin, Cal, is Eddie the GOAT of comedy? For me, it's Richard Pryor or Dave Chappelle. But I think Eddie's definitely on a Mount Rushmore, or Dave Chappelle. I also think Martin Lawrence and Chris Tucker are naturally funnier than Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. Personally, I don't find Chris Rock funny at all, if I'm going to be honest. I know I might be in a minority that I don't find Chris Rock funny in the slightest, at all. Kevin Hart's older stuff I really like. I'm not too much of a fan of his newer stuff. I think he saturated his stuff maybe a lot, but he's also the highest grossing comedian of all time, so I understand the hustle. But yeah, for me, Richard Pryor or Dave Chappelle is the GOAT, and then Eddie Murphy's on the Mount Rushmore. Beans Pun Toast, I can't imagine Coppish without you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. What are your top 5 Coppish calling shows? The one where we I think it's Henry Wright called in and was asking us about British slang. That was brilliant. That same show I think was the one where we started speaking about WWE wrestlers like Goldust and Macho Man, so that's up there. The one where the guy, I can't remember his name, but he just blanked out during the stream. Bruno and his twin brother, that was goated. The first ever time I filmed with Uncle Albert, and the first time Uncle Rod's called in. Those are my top 5. Ash says, Cow in the bath. I'm with legends, guys. No, pause on that. That's crazy. That's crazy, Ash. A9 says, Cow, you mean your prison? Were you saying the kids just got that, just dashed me in there? Kane says, Cow, you remember when you used to do the John W. Henry impression of Sean Dyche? I do. Those were fun days, man, because we were winning. Liam says, doing tactical breakdowns while sitting on the toilet. That's crazy. Jay says, looking for flannels and bathrobe, and that will be the one. Shout out to Josh, says, Cal, there is one player from Bruges I think we should look into, Carlos Forbes, the steel winger. Yes, I've seen him. Very good. I think isn't he on loan from somewhere at the moment? But he's a good winger. Hassan says, what happened to Gay? He and Semenyo to LFC both thought both were a tap-in. It seemed like they were until they weren't, brother. Mantis says, Gable Stevenson is the next generation of heavyweight division. If you don't know who that is, chat, you're going to find out. I've just been listening to his podcast with Joe Rogan. I started listening to it last night. He's a scary prospect for the heavyweight division, especially with him training with Jones so early in his career. And he's just 25 as well. It's crazy how good he could be. Ash says, I know someone at Brentford told me about Ordonez and Coyote a year ago, showed me clips on Y Scout. Brentford went for Coyote, but Ordonez had 8 to 10 bigger teams looking at him. Brentford couldn't get him. Coyote I knew about as well from last year, and he's done well there so far. Yep, told you, Sean, who's coming for my girl. I told you not to rattle that. Ash said Gabe Stevenson is probably top 5 right now already. Would be easy for him to get in the top 5. Yeah, I agree. Who's your favorite TV pundits? I don't mind Gary Neville, if I'm going to be honest. Never thought I'd say that. I don't mind Gary Neville. I think he's actually good. Sturridge, I like Sturridge's personality. I like Thierry Henry and the depth he goes into when he breaks things down, especially when they're attacking movements and just first touches and things like that. Commentators, Peter Drury, I think he's brilliant. Yeah, I'd probably say those. Throw some more names out, guys. In terms of outside of that, Daniel Cormier I like a lot. I think Laura Sanko is criminally underrated. Paul Felder I think is excellent. Brendan Fitzgerald as well. So there's some good ones. There's some good ones out there. Martin says only 2 days into 2026 and we've seen Pereira clapping Cortez and Harry. I can't read that one. That's crazy. Mantis, I didn't actually think Cisse was underrated. I just don't think he was good for us because of the injuries. Badr Hari is one of the scariest kickboxers out. He definitely is. I want to see what Rico Van Hoven does this year, actually. Sean says Corey Sanhagen gets whooped by Sean O'Malley over 5 rounds, or Corey has no power. And I was watching his stand-up game against Marab and knew, I think he beats O'Malley over 5 rounds personally. A9 says, imagine a midfield of Genie, Gravs, and Sobo or Virtue. Dangerous. Josh said, how's the foot count? Do you know what? I had a little kickabout with the kids the other day and came through it fine. So I'm going to go back to football in the new year and see how it goes. A9 says, Enz would let Drift cheat because he likes him the most out of you three. Raw. A9, that is a messy comment. Enz, I'll be real with you. I think Enz would just rile up all 3 of us just for the comical banter for it. And forwards as a whole. Oh, this is dark now. Fowler, Suarez, Firmino, Mane, and Salah. Torres is out. OIB, that's a horrible question to ask. Hey, big up to Yasser in the chat. Go and subscribe to Yasser's channel. Subscribe to Jamie's channel. Subscribe to Enzi's channel as well, people. I'm going to read out a few more people and then I'm going to get going. Hassan says, I rate how unbiased you are on stream when Drift is so biased towards LFC and can't call it out. Big up Drifty, though. I think it probably balances us out. I have moments where I'm really biased as well, and where Drift is a bit more objective. So I think it works both ways. Bernie Mac for me is also on the Mount Rushmore as well. Barovian says, big up Cal, hope you're well, hope you are too. If you could pick one manager that you wished had managed or could manage Liverpool, then who would it have been or could still be? Currently, so Luis Enrique for the future. In the past, I'd have liked to have seen Ancelotti at Liverpool. That'd have been great. Shout out to Jenny in the building. Big up yourself, Jenny. Hope you're well. Ash says doesn't think Chris Rock's funny either. Yeah, Dave Chappelle I went to watch him in concert a few years back, and the funniest comedy show I've seen live. I've seen Kevin Hart live as well, and that was brilliant. But yeah, just different level, man. Different level. Don Hutchinson is quite good as a pundit. That is true. Ian Wright, yeah, Ian Wright's not bad as well. That's a shout. Shout out to Uncle Wrighty. Yeah. People, look, I'm gonna wrap up there because me and the kids and the missus are gonna be popping out this evening. Please do smash the like button, people. Remember, we do this every Friday. I've done this slightly later today, but it's usually in the morning or early afternoon on the Sanderson Show. So please do tell people about it. It's one of my favorite shows of the week because I get to interact with you guys and find out new things about you guys. And you get to find out new things about me as well. So please do smash that like button. On the road to 8,000 subs. So please help me get there if you haven't subscribed already. And people, enough love to you all. Have a fantastic continuation to the new year. Till I see you again. Take care, everyone. Speak soon.